Hello, it's Paul Cox here. Today I want to speak to you about Kemi Badenoch. Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Conservative Party, the beleaguered Conservative Party, but someone who doesn't seem to be beleaguered at all, particularly in recent weeks, is Kemi Badenoch herself. Yesterday was the first PMQ since the local election results. The PMQs directly after the King's speech. The King's speech delivered on behalf of Keir Starmer, who is very much on his knees, very unpopular with the constituents, and even unpopular in the parliamentary Labour Party. Many expecting him to resign, although he doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. But as I record this on Thursday, the 14th of May, people are sharpening their knives and getting ready for a leadership battle. But after the King's speech yesterday, Kemi Badenoch eviscerated Keir Starmer and his entire front bench, and I think spoke on behalf of every right-minded person in the UK. Now, you might not be a fan of Kemi Badenoch. You may be on the right like I am, and you may have your God as Nigel Farage or Rupert Lowe, and you might think the Tories are done and therefore Kemi Badenoch is of no use whatsoever. However, the truth is that right now in this Parliament, Kemi Badenoch is the leader of the opposition, and she represents what is currently the right of politics. A debate is there, of course, and that's why I paused. Many think the Tories are wets. Many think the Tories are left-leaning rather than right at all. My view is that they're centrists. However, under Kemi Badenoch and Kemi Badenoch herself, I believe to be right-wing. Maybe a soft right-winger. Further to that, I see reform, and further to that still, I see restore. However, this video is not about this. This video is about Kemi Badenoch's performance at PMQs on Wednesday, the 13th of May, directly after the King's speech, and as I previously said, following the disastrous local elections for the Labour Party in particular. I wouldn't say undisastrous for the Conservative Party, but perhaps they contained it slightly. And absolutely amazing for reform. Fairly good for the Greens, although I would say not as good as they would have hoped. And of course, Restore are not in this. Although, congratulations to the Restore candidates in Great Yarmouth, which they won comfortably and convincingly. So the future is not yet decided. However, the now, the present, I believe, belongs to Kemi Badenoch. It certainly did yesterday. Let's check this out.
Why don't you just do your job? Do your job. There's no point in him giving me dirty looks. We all know what he's been up to.
That's Wes Streeting there she's talking to, straight off the bat. Why don't you just do your job? He was giving her dirty looks, and she is about to tell him exactly what she thinks. By the way, Wes Streeting is one of the front runners to replace Keir Starmer. As I'm speaking, he hasn't resigned. As I'm speaking, he hasn't declared, but I believe he has reached the benchmark for the numbers.
Well, they don't agree with this agenda, in which case, what on earth are we all doing here? Oh, I'm not done yet. There is plenty more coming. There were 24 U-turns in that first parliamentary session. Winter fuel, family farms, grooming gangs, welfare reforms, social media for under 16s, day one workers' rights. The list goes on and on.
Incredible list, by the way, of U-turns. 24 U-turns. Loads of tentpole key milestone policies there, completely U-turned by Keir Starmer and this feeble Labour Party. Why had they not shown the resolve that Keir Starmer seems to have shown this week? And by the way, we've discovered what Keir Starmer is good at. He is good at staying in place in a place he is very much unwelcome. But look, nobody can lead with 3 U-turns in 18, 20 months. But 24? 24 is 2 a month. In actual fact, they've not done 2 years, so it's more than 2 U-turns a month. This is a party without leadership. This is a party without a real manifesto. And this is a party with an absolutely idiotic leader.
And every every single one of these U-turns had at its core a single issue: the Prime Minister's total lack of judgment. This is a man who, faced with a crisis of vision, charisma, and electoral success, sent for Gordon Brown. Banned from pubs, banned from hairdressers, which is presumably why all the women on the front bench have the same hairstyle.
That is an absolute zinger. Quite unparliamentary, many people would believe. I loved every second of it. That is why I assume every female frontbencher has the same haircut. What a zinger. Absolutely killing it.
The whole thing is totally illogical. Either Labour MPs agree with this agenda, in which case, why are they trying to get rid of the Prime Minister? Or they don't agree with this agenda, in which case, what on earth are we all doing here?
Such a good point. What on earth are we all doing here indeed, Kemi Badenoch? This is a King's speech for Keir Starmer, who literally is running out of a mandate to lead his own party, let alone the country. So, why allow it to go ahead? Why allow it to go ahead at all? If you are a Labour Party member who doesn't believe in Keir Starmer, why would you want Keir Starmer's King's speech? They're just process for process sake. This is the left, this is socialism, this is what takes place when you allow them to have power. Absolute, unmitigated chaos.
Surely that's not the way to proceed.
Yeah. Emily Thornberry there. Surely that's not the way to proceed, referring to the manner in which Kemi Badenoch is delivering her speech. And this is what Kemi had to say.
Oh, I'm not done yet. There is plenty more coming.
Oh, I'm not done yet. And she really wasn't done. They are looking on stunned as she pulverizes them politically and almost physically with her words. This is incredible. We've not seen a performance like this from Kemi Badenoch. We've not seen a performance like this from anyone in opposition in the Houses of Parliament since July of 2024. And boy, is she giving it to them.
The lady says she's getting a lecture. She is getting a lecture. She is getting a lecture. We're all getting a lecture because we are legislators of the United Kingdom. We were sent here to fix difficult things, not focus on our personal hobby horses, ranging from the petty to the puerile. You need a plan to scrap the net zero legislation, strangling industry.
Legislators. Exactly right, Kemi. Duty. Country before politics. Country before party. Country before self. No one is exhibiting that. No one is exhibiting that on the left. No one is exhibiting that on and in the Labour Party. This is a disgrace. This is an absolute disgrace. It's great to see Kemi Badenoch taking Keir Starmer and that front bench team of cabinet members to task. Nobody else is doing it. I mean, obviously Nigel Farage can't do it. He's got 6 or 7 MPs. He barely gets a chance to talk. This is not a criticism of Reform or of Rupert Lowe or anyone else you see as in opposition on the right. Kemi is the opposition leader. The Tories at this point are in opposition. And it's about time someone did this. This is poetry in motion.
If you want businesses to employ people, you need to stop crushing them with thousands of pages of employment laws.
I'm a small business owner. I couldn't agree more with this. The net zero zealoted nonsense that Ed Miliband is peddling out is destroying this country's economy. The attacks on small businesses and small businesses owners via tax is incredibly damaging. The minimum wage, the way that's been rolled out, is making sure that young people are unemployable. Why, as a small business owner, would I employ someone for the same wage that I could employ an experienced person for as opposed to a young person? I want to give young people a chance. Of course I do. I've got a 16-year-old daughter. She works for me. I give her minimum wage. I have to. I've got no choice. But no, I mean, to be fair, I'd probably give it to her anyway. She is a Nepo baby. However, the point is, on a much wider scale, much wider scale, it's making it impossible for small businesses to grow. Small businesses are the bedrock of any economy. That alongside sovereign and cheap fuel. We have neither, none, zilch. There is no idea from this Labour Party on how to build an economy. Rachel Reeves is a con woman. There is no point in this Labour government coming on if we want Great Britain to be successful.
A plan to leave the ECHR and repeal the Human Rights Act. That alternative King's Speech makes difficult choices because that...
Bravo. Now, I know she said this before, but I don't think it's been said enough in Parliament, particularly at PMQs. We have to repeal the ECHR. There is no way to solve any of our problems whilst we are still in the ECHR. They are governing over us like totalitarian overlords. We can't even keep our people safe because of the ECHR. And people standing behind it are like, oh my God, how could you possibly get rid of that? You'd be just like the Nazis. You'd just be like Stalin. Absolute horse shit. That is not what governs our morals. That's not what governs our morals at all. Our morals, our history, our culture, our backbone is what governs us. We don't need the ECHR to tell us what to do. And if the ECHR damages us, then we should rip it up and make our people safe.
That is what leadership is. That is what the British public expect. That is what the Conservative Party will do.
Well, I don't know if that's what the Conservative Party will do, but she's absolutely right. It's exactly what we should expect. Anybody who is watching this and doesn't agree with Kemi Badenoch is both anti-British and anti-British people. There is no way we can succeed under the Labour Party. There is no way we can succeed under the manifesto they're failing to deliver. These people are weak. They are causing us harm. I mean, what a video. 2 minutes long there. Obviously just the highlights, not the whole thing. I wouldn't put you through that. And maybe you saw it anyway. If you're following me, the chances are you probably did. But I think, you know, Kemi Badenoch deserves a real pat on the back here. It's an incredibly difficult job she's got. She's got a beleaguered party, but she's leading it as if it's in full opposition or running the country, to be fair. Can you imagine what a Kemi Badenoch, Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe coalition could do to this country? The sky's the limit. The sky is the absolute limit. Obviously, that's never going to happen, and there'll be many of you who will be disgusted by the very idea, I'm sure. I don't see the world the same way as you, but I welcome your views. I welcome everybody's views. I'm on the right. I'm populist right. I used to consider myself a centrist, but I'm definitely on the right wing. And I think that someone like Kemi Badenoch could really help this country. I can see now why 4 years ago, when I first heard of Kemi Badenoch from Tory party insiders, they said, long before she was ever leader, this young woman will be leader. Now, you may hate her. You may hate her because of her heritage. You may hate her because she's a Tory. But I thought that speech was incredibly impressive yesterday. And it's the sort of thing we need on a more regular basis to hold the Labour Party to account. God knows what's going to happen in the next few days. Keir Starmer has plunged both the country and his own party into absolute turmoil. We've been hollowed out from the inside out and from the top down. It's a disgrace. It's disgusting. He must go. Labour Party must go. But I'm sure we're in for a long, bumpy ride. This isn't going to end anytime soon. But well done, Kemi. If you like this video and you like this type of content, please do give me a follow and subscribe. Press that bell button. You can follow me at Paul Cox Comedy on every single form of social media. But until next time, thank you and keep it real.